Hey guys, Thursday, and I figured I'd do a video here on some farm history, some buildings and structures here from days past. This is an underground ground cellar, and a lot of people that come here are always asking about it and wondering what's in there. So I figured I'd do a video. It's really chilly today. It's only in the 50s, and we're under a frost advisory for tonight. So as far as that goes, should be our first hard frost. Should finish off the soybeans. Most guys are done with their soybeans, but a lot of guys were saying they were having trouble with the stems being tough and having issues. But I still have some shady spots where they're still a little green, so that should finish them off. So just going to show you this. First of all, this is an old tree. You see the size of that tree, and that's a catalpa tree is the what it's called. There's a couple of them here on the property. They have big giant leaves, and they have these like green bean type pods. They're real long pods that drop off. If I can find one here, I can show you. These are like the pods that are on this tree, but yeah, that's a pretty old tree. So here we got an underground ground cellar, root cellar, vegetable cellar, whatever you want to call it. They did nice stonework all along there, and then made an arch. So this is another thing that survived here on the farm. It's not the easiest to open, so bear with me. It's not, maybe not. Summertime it's hard. It's getting to be a different time of the year. Over the summer I can open this door. When it starts cooling off, it seems to work a little bit better. And I should have a flashlight, and I'm going in from out in the dark, so I don't know what you're seeing, but just walk in here and show you this. I mean, the stonework here and the attention to detail to get the ceiling a nice smooth. I mean, there's no rocks sticking out or anything like that. You can see there's some water coming in. It's kind of yellowed, a little bit of water damage there. But just the skill that it took to build this. I mean, to have all the rocks pretty well be flush. There's some water there, some condensation. I don't know if it freezes in here or not. You don't think it would be far enough underground because ground level's about there, and then they pile dirt over the top. You can see a crack there that's starting to form. Oop, crack there that's starting to form. And there's a little bit of daylight out at that end. But as far as what they put in here, I don't know. Vegetables, milk maybe back then. There's a big trough here, a concrete trough. This does flood. That's the only issue. A lot of water does come in here when we get high rain, so most of the time, if it's wet over the summer, this is pretty well underwater. You can see the doorway there. They have a step, and this looks to be steel that they put across here to help support like a header, and then they have pressure treated. They did some work to this recently because this was all redone, and the pressure treated door frame. So yeah, there's an old steel table in here, and it has like a, I don't know if that's like a granite top, and then there's some old mesh. I don't know what all it is. It's a dirt floor, and then they have a concrete floor in the back here. So whatever the thoughts were there. Yeah, and this is like a chimney now that I look at it. I never noticed that there's like a chimney up in here. There's water running down the inside, but there's a flower pot actually sitting on the top of that, like a planter, a steel planter. So that must be the lid. But yeah, I never noticed that there's like a steel or a vent that's built right in here. That's neat. So yeah, I figured I'd just share a little bit of history here. Yeah, the ceiling is all condensated. It's like being in a cave. It reminds me of if you're ever watching the National Geographic channel when they're touring all those old ruins. So yeah, pretty neat little structure here. survived all those years, hasn't collapsed. Take you around the side and show you. Basically, we're not using it for anything. And you can see this probably 100-year-old tree here. And there you see what I'm saying. It's just like a dirt mound that was over the top. It's like a mound here in the yard, and you got to be careful mowing it. And that there was a windmill at one time. That's why the building is built that way. You see how it's pitched in. It was a giant wooden windmill. And when there's a well under there, it's like 35 feet. I did measure it. It has a lid over it. It's pretty cool. I flipped the lid up and you can look down in the well. But this was probably, I don't know, I saw the old pictures of it. It's pretty high. So I guess when they did away with the well and they didn't need the windmill, they just chopped the top off and built that structure there. Now it's just kind of a storage shed with a well under your feet. And I'll take you up and show you that building up in the back with the bell tower. So I'll go up there next. Hey guys, there's a neat little project underway here. I figured I'd share with you. Got a new roof going on this old smokehouse that was on the farm, and you can see there's a bell tower up in the top. There's a bell, and the old roof appears to be these wooden shingles, and I'd say they got their money's worth out of this. They've got all this moss growing on it, but surprisingly underneath the wood isn't too bad. So I'll take you around and show you the inside of this building. Like I say, it was an old smokehouse. And like I say, it's under construction right now, but see the metal roof going on, and you can see the black soot remains on the door and on the inside. It's pretty neat. I'm surprised it's survived all these years here on the farm. I think it's been probably pretty many years since anybody used it. And then there's like a lean-to addition on here. Somebody had said that they had put coal in here at one time, and that could be. It's just kind of a lean-to type addition. Coal and firewood storage. You can see it's on a stone foundation, and you got some tin to go on. It's black colored. So yeah, just a little bit more farm history here. This was the old smokehouse, and it's getting a new roof, and probably I'd say eventually a paint job. Needs one anyway. That wood is so weathered, it's probably going to take 10 gallons of paint. But they said they used to ring the bell on New Year's Day every year. And I guess it was like the lunch bell. If people were out in the fields back in the olden days, you've probably heard that before. They used to ring a bell. You always see those bells like on Amish farms. So we're gonna get a piece of rope on that bell and get it so it's functional again, just for fun, just to kind of restore the old building. So yeah, I thought it was neat, so I figured I'd share it with you guys. Thanks for watching.